What? What? Is there something that smells like something that it shouldn't smell like what I'm smelling? Hopefully not. Alright, well, friends, you can tell me what daf we're doing today. We're doing daf Chaf Gimel, is that what we're doing? Why not? Yeah, why not? Why not? Alright, fine. Daf Chaf Gimel. Sounds good to me. Friends, you want to learn daf Chaf Gimel? Fine, let's learn daf Chaf Gimel. How you doing there? Welcome back to Babylon Talmud. Here we start daf Chaf Gimel, daf 23 of Masechta Kiddushin. Friends. Yo, friends, so today we start daf Chaf Gimel. I'm pretty freaking tired. I haven't really slept in like 2 days. 2 days? 1 day? 1 day maybe? I don't know. But yeah, yesterday I was in Poland. Now I'm back in Eretz Yisrael. And Babylon Talmud goes weiter. That's it. So we are discussing, right, so we learned the Mishnah yesterday that talked about the Eved Kenani. And right, it says, if we look at that Mishnah quickly, it says, Eved Kenani nikne bekesev v'shtai v'chazaka v'kones atzmo bekesev v'adei achim v'shtai adei atzmo divrei meir v'chachamam bekesev v'adei atzmo v'shtai adei achim v'vad sheyeh kesef mishal achim. Basically, in terms of how an Eved Kenani goes free, so this machlokes between Reb Meir and the Chachamim. Reb Meir says that when it comes to money, the Eved himself cannot receive money from other people under any circumstances. That money can be given to his Adon, for his freedom, and then, the Adon can accept the money and have him go free. Alternatively, a document, right, in terms of a get shichrur, that for the Eved Kenani to go free, the only way for that to happen would be for the Adon to write a get shichrur and give it to the Eved Kenani. Okay? He can't give it to anybody else on behalf of the Eved Kenani. So, Reb Meir says that when it comes to money, the Adon would have to accept it. When it comes to the shtar, the Eved himself would have to accept it. The Chacham say fakert. The Chacham say that when it comes to money, he can accept the money, and then he will pay it to his Adon to go free. And when it comes to a shtar, so we're saying aidei acher, that other people can accept the shtar shikra on his behalf. Okay, that's machlokes between Reb Meir and Chacham. Today's daf is going to revolve around that machlokes of how exactly does an Eved Kenani go free, and who is accepting what when it comes to kesef, when it comes to shtar. It could be a shtickle to hold in your noggin. I reviewed this on the plane this morning. I think I did a decent enough job. I guess we'll find out. But I do think that this stuff could be a little bit technical. Okay, here we go. We're on Daf Chav Gimel with Aleph, about 2, 4, 6, 7 lines into the daf. By the 2 dots, v'kones atzmo b'kesev v'chulei. So Reb Meir had said that an Eved Kenani can be, go free b'kesef. Now that money needs to be given to his Adon. It cannot go to him. So now it says the Gemara, b'kesef aidei acherim in. So when it comes to money, it would have to be given not to him but to his Adon. Aval lo aidei atzmo. But he cannot accept that money. Okay. Meaning because Masha Kana Eved Kana Rabba, right? So Memele, if somebody gives money to the Eved Kenani, Memele, it belongs to his Adon. It doesn't belong to him. So what's he giving his Adon? So therefore the money would have to go directly to the Adon. And here's the kasha. But what are we talking about? If we're talking about that the Eved Kenani is unawares, right? Some people decide that they're going to redeem this Eved Kenani. The Eved Kenani doesn't know about their plan. They then go and give money to the Adon on behalf of the Eved Kenani. And we're saying in that case the Eved Kenani goes free. Why should he? Michdei. Friends, remember a Gemara or a Mishnah? I don't remember. In Masechta Gittin. Shamayna le Reb Meir, that we hold that we know that Reb Meir's opinion is Tomer chovhu le'eved she yotze miyad rabba lecheris. That it is a negative development for an Eved Kenani to go free. Because when an Eved Kenani, when he's an Eved Kanani, if his Adon is a Kohen, he can eat Truma. Once he goes free, he can no longer eat Truma. When he's an Eved Kanani, he can be married to a Shifcha Kanainis. That's no longer the case when he goes free. So it's not obvious that freeing an Eved is what he wants. V'tanina, we learn according to Rameir. V'tanina, we learn in the Mishnah. Zachin l'adam shalei b'fanav, ve'in chavin lo el b'fanav. That while we can do things to benefit somebody, whether he is aware or not, however, to do things that will be detrimental to him, you can't. You have to do it in his presence. So therefore, if we're saying that other people are paying the Adon, and when the other people pay the Adon, the Eved Kanani goes free. So if we're talking about where he doesn't know about this, that this is happening, so how can he go free? That's a negative development according to Reb Meir. And ein chav la'adam ela b'fanav. You can't do something detrimental behind the fellow's back. So ela pshita midaito. Okay, so rather it must be that he knows about it. That he knows about it, and he's happy about it. And then these people pay his adon, and he goes free. And it's letting us know aidei acherim in aidei atzmo lo. And what it's letting us know is that other people, right? These people would have to pay the money to the adon, but it cannot go to him. Alma, from here we see ein kinyan le'eved b'lo rabo, that under no circumstances can an eved be kona anything without it going directly to his adon, right? Mashakona eved kona rabo, that anything that an eved would acquire goes immediately automatically to the adon, in which case he's not actually giving the adon anything, it was already the adon's. Okay, there you go. So we want to say that it's talking about where the eved knows about it, and then the money is paid to the adon, and then the adon releases him and he is free. But if the money was given to him, then it wouldn't work, because memela, when he gets it, it automatically belongs to the adon, in which case he's not giving the adon anything. If that's the case, that we're talking about where it is with his knowledge, Amos Sefer, let's go weiter in that Mishnah, in our Mishnah. Bishtar, when it comes to a shtar shichrur, aidei atzmo, he would have to accept the shtar shichrur from his adon. The adon writes a document, as we learned about Masechta Gittin, and it says, Harei Ato ben Chorin, or Harei Ato la'atzmucha, I think was another option. And then he gives it to the Eved, and then the Eved is free. Aidei atzmo in, aidei acherim lo, implying that specifically if the get shichrur is given to the Eved is free. But if the shtar shichrur is given to somebody else on behalf of the Eved does not go free. V'imidaito aidei acherim amaylo. But if it's talking about where the Eved knows about it, and he's into it, he wants to go free, then why is somebody else not able to accept it on his behalf? So maybe you'll say, no, when it says that, when Rav Meir says that by a shtar, the Eved himself accepts it, it means even the Eved himself can accept it. Meaning certainly, right, if we're talking about where it's midaito, so the Eved knows that he's being freed and he's happy about it. And certainly in that case, somebody else can accept it on his behalf. But even he can accept it on his own behalf. And it's teaching us, we learned about this in Masechta Gittin, that his get and his hand come at the same time, right? Because of course, an adon owns the body of his slave, including his hand. So therefore, I might think that when the adon gives the get shichrur to the Eved, and the Eved accepts it in his hand, but the adon owns his hand, so it's not actually leaving his reshus. So what it's letting us know is that even if the get shichrur is given directly to the Eved, then it still is effective, because Gito v'yodo bo'en kecho, that immediately when he accepts the get shichrur, he also gets his own hand. So it is changing domains from the domain of the adon to the domain of the Eved. Okay. V'halo taniyachi. But one second. The only problem with this route, by saying it's talking about where it's midaito, where the Eved knows about it, is the Tanya. Bishtar aide atzmo v'lo aide al-cherim divrei Meir. That we have a price in which Meir explicitly says that when it comes to a document, he needs to be the one to accept it and not other people. Now we had just said it's talking about where he knows that the get is coming and he's happy about it. And we're saying certainly other people could accept it on his behalf, but even he can accept it on his own behalf. But we have a brisa that says other people cannot accept it. According to Meir, other people cannot accept it on his behalf. So Amar Bai says, Abai la'olam shalomi daito. So really it's talking about actually the Eved, Kanani is unawares. He's unawares. So if that's the case, then how could it be that when it comes to the kesef, the money can be given to the Adon even without the knowledge of the Eved? I thought it's ein chavin la'adam ela b'fanav. V'shayni kesef, but it's different when it comes to money. Hol v'kani le'bal korche, makni le'bal korche. Because since he could become an Eved against his will with kesef, right? His Adon buys him with kesef. So against his will, he becomes an Eved. So also, even against his will, he can become released from being an Eved. So therefore, even though Reb Meir's opinion is that it's detrimental for the Eved to go free because he loses truma, shifcha knainis. Nonetheless, in this case, it's okay because just like an Eved can be bought against his will, he can also be released against his will. Fine. So, okay, if that's the case, shtar nami. But then why don't we say the same thing by a shtar, right? That an Eved Kanani can be acquired with a shtar against his will. So why don't we also say that bishtar aideh that other people can accept, right? That other people can accept the shtar on his behalf, because just like he can be acquired with a shtar against his will, so he can also be released with a shtar against his will when other people accept it on his behalf. So shtar l'chud, shtar l'chud. But the difference is that there are different shtars, right? Meaning, there's one shtar which is for acquisition, which is by, that it says that this Eved now belongs to this Adon, whereas a get shichvur is a different shtar. It says, it's a different document. And therefore, even though yes, the document to acquire the Eved could be against his will, the document to release him cannot be against his will. Therefore, he would have to accept it himself. So where am I? But why don't we say the same thing when it comes to kesef? That there's the kesef that is being used to acquire the Eved, and there's the kesef that is being used to free the Eved. So let's say that they're separate kesefs, and let's say that, okay, so an Eved can be acquired against his will with kesef, maybe he cannot be freed against his will with kesef. So tiva mia chad hu. Look, when it comes to a document, they're literally different documents. You read it, right? One document says, I'm acquiring you. The other document says, you're now free. They're two different documents. The money itself, though, is it looks exactly the same. It's the same coins, right? So therefore, the money. So therefore, we could say, right, since the coins are all the same, it's the same. A penny looks like a penny, right? It's all the same coins. So we say, look, if he could be acquired with kesef against his will, he could be released with kesef against his will. Rava explains with Meir's opinion that kesef kabbalas rabo gormelo. Look, when it comes to kesef, the reason why it can work against his will is because it is the kabbalas kesef, kabbalas rabo, that is right. That's causing him to be freed. Whereas shtar kabbalas acherim garma lo. The difference is that when it comes to the money is being given to the master. The master is not acting as the shaliach of the Eved. The master is acting on his own account. He wants to get this money. By doing so, he releases the Eved. So then the Eved goes free. When it comes to a shtar cannot be accepted on behalf of the Eved by these other people, because these other people can't be his shliach without him knowing, right? So if it's shalom midaito, it wouldn't work. Friends, I don't know if you can pick up on this, but my brain is like not functioning so good. So probably we'll just make the next big push to the next two dots, which means we're only going to go about halfway through Chaf Gimel Amud Beis, but I'm just way too exhausted. I'm like not even sure if I'm thinking straight. The Chachamim say that with Kesef, that he accepts the Kesef on his own behalf, and the Shtar, other people accept on his behalf. So Bekesef, Aidei Atzmo in, Aidei Acherim lo. So the Chacham said that when it comes to Kesef, so Aidei Atzmo in, right, he accepts the Kesef on his own behalf, Aidei Acherim lo. But this implies that the money cannot be given to his Adon on his behalf. Why can't it be given to his Adon on his behalf? Ninami de Shalom Midaito. Okay, maybe you're saying that it's talking about where he doesn't know about it, right? But Michte Shamayne Lu Rabbanon Dami Zchusu Sheyetzi Mitach Chasidei Rabba Lecheres. But the Rabbi's opinion is the opposite of Rameir's opinion. According to the rabbis, it's a positive thing for an Eved Kanani to be freed. He's no longer an Eved; he's free. That Zachin Adam Shelo B'fanav, that you can do something that is beneficial to a fellow, even if it is not in his presence. And therefore, I don't understand. The Chachamim are saying that he accepts the Kesef on his own behalf, implying that the Adon cannot accept the Kesef on his behalf. But why not? It's a positive thing for him to be freed, even if he doesn't know that he's being freed. Still, the Adon should be able to accept it on his behalf. Zachin Adam Shelo B'fanav. If you're going to say, well, when it says Bekesef Aidei Atzmo, it means even Aidei Atzmo. Certainly, his Adon can accept it on his behalf, but he can even accept it on his own behalf, and is letting us know that there is a possibility, and on Daf Chav Gimel Amud Beis, we're going to discuss what exactly that would look like. I was planning to get there today. I don't know if I will, because I'm just so freaking tired. I just don't know if I want to do that to myself. But anyways, that it's possible for an Eved to be Kona Epis, and it doesn't automatically go to his Adon. Well, we're going to learn on Chav Gimel Amud Beis. I'm not committing to what day we'll learn about it, either today or tomorrow, but Chav Gimel Amud Beis, we learn that it's possible for an Eved to have a kinyan without it going automatically to his Adon, right? We'll learn how exactly that works. Now, okay, so we want to say even, right? Meaning by Kesef, it can even go to himself. Certainly it can go to his Adon, but it can even go to himself. So Yachi, if that's the case, Ema Seifa, if we continue reading, it says, Bishtar, when it comes to Shtar Ayidei Acherim, that other people accept the Shtar Shichur for him, V'lo Ayidei Atzmo, but not on his own behalf. He cannot accept his Shtar Shichur on his own behalf. And he cannot accept the Shtar Shichur on his own behalf. But why can't he accept the get on his own behalf? We hold the Gito V'yodo and Ke'echad, that his get and his hand come at the same thing, so at the same time. So you should, right? There should not be any issue with the Adon giving the get shichur to the Eved, and the Eved accepts it, and at the time that he receives it, he gets his own his freedom. V'chi tema my acherim aidei acherim af aidei acherim, and if you're going to tell me that when it says aidei acherim by the get, it means af aidei acherim, that meaning certainly the Adon can give the get shichur to his Eved, because Gito V'yodo and Kechot, that the Adon can give the get to his Eved, and the Eved Mimele goes free. But even other people can accept it on his behalf, Al-Kamashmalan is letting us know that it's taka, a beneficial thing for an Eved to go free. And therefore, even if the Eved is given to other people on his behalf, he would become a free fellow, because Zachin Adam Shelo B'fanav. If that's the case, so if essentially what we're saying is that both by Kesef and by Shtar, either the Adon or the Eved can accept it, well then Narvinu V'nisninu, just teach it all together. B'Kesef, U'B'Shtar, when it comes to kesef, when it comes to shtar, bein aidei acher, bein aidei atzmo. Whether it is other people accepting on his behalf, whether it's accepting on his own behalf, whether it's money, whether it's a shtar shikhr, he's yotze the cheres, he goes free. But why does it divide it up like that? It talks about kesef and it talks about shtar. So, elo b'kesef bein aidei acher, bein aidei atzmo. Look, when it comes to kesef, whether it's his adon accepting on his behalf, whether it's him accepting on his own behalf, so then it works. When it comes to kesef, he's a free fellow. Bishtar, when it comes to shtar, ayidei acherim davka, if other people accept it on his behalf, v'lo ayidei atzmo, and he cannot accept it on his own behalf, Reb Shimon ben Elazar, and it's Reb Shimon ben Elazar, the Tanya Reb Shimon ben Elazar Omer, af bishtar ayidei acherim, that even when it comes to shtar, it would have to be ayidei other people, v'lo ayidei atzmo, not on his own, because he holds that gito v'yado lo boin kechod, that when he receives the get shikhr, his hand that is receiving it still belongs to his adon, which means that it's never, when the adon gives it to the eved belongs to the adon, it's not actually leaving his rishus. So in order for it to work, it would have to be ayidei acher, v'lo ayidei atzmo. V'shalosh machlokos b'darvim, there are 3 machlokoses in this matter, right? We saw that according to Reb Meir. So according to Reb Meir, when it comes to kesef, the Reb Meir says that when it comes to kesef, the dafka his adon would have to accept it on his behalf, but he cannot accept it on his own behalf. And when it comes to shtar, he dafka needs to accept it on his own behalf, but other people cannot accept it on his behalf. And when it comes to, and then the rabbi's opinion is that both when it comes to kesef and when it comes to shtar, whether he's accepting on his own behalf, whether it's his adon or whether it's other people accepting it, both by kesef and by shtar it works. Then there's the opinion of Reb Shimon ben Elazar, who says that when it comes to kesef, whether he can accept it on his own behalf, his adon can accept it on his behalf. When it comes to shtar, dafka, other people have to accept it. He cannot accept it on his own behalf because, we don't say gito v'yado boin ke'echad. V'shalosh machlokas b'davar. Okay, so there's 3 machlokas. It's a 3-way machlokas. Reb Meir, the Chachamim, and Reb Shimon ben Elazar. Omer Rabbi says, Rabbi, my time to Reb Shimon ben Elazar. How come Reb Shimon ben Elazar says it's Gomer la meisha? That, well, he learns that Gzeir Shava of la meisha. It says la by a shifcha, and it says la by marriage. Ma isha ad sheyotzi get the rishus she'ena shelo. Just like by an isha, the get needs to go into a different rishus, right? That the husband gives the get to the wife, it goes to a different rishus. So she'ena shelo. So af eved nami ad sheyotzi get the rishus she'ena shelo. So also when the adon is giving the get shikhr, it has to go to a domain that is not his, and the eved belongs to the adon, so he can't give it. We don't say gito v'yado boin kechad, therefore it would have to be ayidei achim, it would have to be other people. Fine. Wow, I'm so tired. Sorry if this daf is like super boring. I'm friggin' exhausted. I think I probably said earlier, I'm like sleeping in like different kinds of sitting up positions for the last 2 nights. Okay. By Rabba asked a kasha, Reb Shimon ben Elazar. So according to Reb Shimon ben Elazar, who says that an Eved Kanani cannot accept his own get, because we don't say Gito v'yoda boin kechad. So Ma'u sheyaiseh shaliach l'kabel Gito miyad rabo. Can he, the Eved, who's unable to accept his own shtar shikhr, can he appoint a shaliach to accept it on his behalf? Kevin the gomer la meisha Keisha, do we say, well, because we have this Gzeir Shava that compares an Eved Kanani to an Isha, so let's say that just like a Isha can designate a Shaliach, can appoint a Shaliach to accept her get, so here also, the Eved can appoint a Shaliach to receive his get shikhr. Odilma isha d'i matzi mikabelas gita shaliach nami matzi mishavya. Well, but alternatively, you can argue that when it comes to a wife, she can accept her own get, so therefore she can also appoint a messenger to accept her get. However, in Eved, since he cannot receive his own get, so therefore he also would be unable to appoint a messenger to receive his get for him. And after he asked the kasha, he answered it. La la meisha keisha. Okay, so it's like a woman that, just like a woman can appoint a messenger to receive her get, so the Eved can also appoint a messenger to receive his shtar shecher. Ve'elaha dam Rav Huna breder of Yeshua. What about that which Rav Huna breder of Yeshua says? Hanekane shluchei de'achmanenu. Says Rav Huna breder of Yeshua that the Kohanim who do the service in the temple are the messengers of God, not our messengers. They're not doing things on our, as our messengers to offer our korbanos. They're doing it as messengers of God. Because if it enters your mind that they're our shaliachs, how could it be, or if they're our shaliachs, how could it be that we can't offer the korbanos, yet we can appoint them as shaliachs to do it for us? V'lo, but that's not the case. It's not the case. Where am I? I lost the place. V'ha avda de'iu lo matzi mekabel gita v'shaliach matzi mashve. But one second, right? If we just gave a rationale for the reason why it must be that the Kohanim are not our messengers, they must be the messengers of God, because how can we, right? We can't appoint them as messengers because we can't do it ourselves. But yet, we see that when it comes to get shichur, even though an Eved can't accept his own get shichur, he can make a shaliach to accept it on his behalf. V'loi, but that's not a good point. Yisrael lo shaychi b'toras korbanos klal. Yidden have nothing to do with korban, right? They can't, right? Zars cannot offer korbanos at all. The Eved shaykh begin, but an Eved can accept the get. He can't accept his own get, but he can accept somebody else's get. The Tana's, we learned by saying, "Nir nadvarim she'eved mikabel gito shel chaver miyad rabo shel chaver havlo miyad rabo shelo." That an Eved can accept a get shichur on behalf of another, friend who's an Eved, because even if even if it immediately will belong to his adon, he can't be called to someone for himself. But still, it's leaving the rishus, right? The get shichur is leaving the rishus of the adon, which is not the case when it comes to the get shichur. Wait, what? Dude, I'm gonna have to stop here because I can't even think straight anymore. That it's not a good comparison when it comes to the Kohanim in the Beis Hamikdash. Since we can't offer these korbanos at all because we're not Kohanim, so it must be that they're not our messengers, the messengers of God. However, when it comes to an Eved, an Eved is shaykh to receiving a get shichur because he can receive it on behalf of his friend. So therefore, that's why an Eved can make a shaliach to receive his get, because he's not complete. He is shaykh. He can receive gets, just not his own. Friends, I hope that was remotely clear. I'm going to have to stop here because I'm just so flippin' exhausted. I can't think straight. There's no point of going weiter. So I'll catch you tomorrow for a bit of an augmented chapter, daf. Oh my God, I can't think straight. Daf 27. Friends, I'm going to hit the sack. Peace out.